cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad. She had it, but I'd rather say she passionate. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. I hit you when you were just baiting, so what? You hit me when I was so faded, so what? Said fuck everything cause I'm jaded, so what? I did all this shit and ain't taking no love. That little part of my life fell in love with them drugs. Not taking shit back, I love who I'm becoming. Fuck that shit, shorty, we could be nothing. Back when I'm in Saudi, copping some dumb shit. Only want 10 out of 10s in the spot. Only want 10 out of 10s where you thought. $250,000, that's on this Richard pocket watch. Still flexing on niggas cause I know they watch. I wouldn't lie to you, yeah. No, I've been tired of you, yeah. You've been too all in my hair. You've been too all in my ear. You crashing out over a tree. I don't even know how to stare. But I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't even know how to care. No, I wanted you, but that was past tense. Done had a lot of hoes just on my accent. Carry my chopper, shorty, she is savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of delusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad. She had it, but I'd rather say she passionate. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Is this a bad time? Remember what happened last time. You better off being satisfied. We doing the same shit every time. Check my phone out, a hoe say she miss me. Smoking this gas got me feeling rich. When it comes to a freak, I ain't even picky. Juice off this fit, turn her to a pig. I stay on my twin Mordecai and Rick. You worry about tech, I give a nigga 50. What a broke nigga always got. That's something to say, but none of them niggas with me. Been blocking windows, I feel like I'm Wendy. No, she don't want Louis, she want a new Fendi. Can't open the text in the public no more. Ain't no way to predict like what she gon' send me. I'm not even doing the talking no more. I don't even think that they really gon' get me. I'm not getting rich, it do not concern me. Cause every day I feel like that really ready. I wouldn't lie to you, yeah. No, I've been tired of you, yeah. You've been too all in my hair. You've been too all in my ear. You crashing out over a tree. I don't even know how to stare. But I don't know what to believe. Yeah, I don't even know how to care. No, I wanted you, but that was past tense. Done had a lot of hoes just on my accent. Carry my chopper, shorty, she is savage. Got a son for you, cause you ain't average. I be on gas fuel, take me out of delusional. Think I got it, cause I imagine it. Fashion shit, yeah, I mix it, I ain't mad. She had it, but I'd rather say she passionate.
Today, we're going to talk about the PLL Championship Series, CBB and NBA winners for tonight, and we have to cash the squad ride. This is Behind the Lines. I mean, Chucky Hepburn had Boopie Miller in jail. It was tough to watch. Maybe the worst game I've ever seen. Boopie Miller missing layups left and right. Couldn't cover a parked car. You got Chucky Hepburn jacking up threes. Didn't have a chance because for some reason, I don't know why, but in hockey, a 2-goal lead is actually like losing. It might be worse than losing. You might as well be losing because a 2-goal lead is never safe.
This feels like a game where Ohio State can make this weirdly close, but it's a game where you look at it and you're like, okay, Purdue should dominate at home, and you turn it on because it's a tied game with 3 minutes left and Ohio State's fighting. I think this is going to be a close game when really on paper it shouldn't be at all.
And then I see this quote from the coach, his starting center, Tomislav. He literally said, deathly ill. The kid's sitting on your fucking bench. What are you talking about? He's deathly ill. He looks fine to me. And if he is that sick, why is he sitting next to the rest of your team? Are the neurons in your brain not functioning? What's going on up there in Illinois? What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Thursday, episode 638 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Bookit yet, today could be a great day to start. Go over to Bookit Sports on the App Store, Google Play, download it, start using it, tracking your bets over there. I promise once you do, you're going to keep using it. The best bet tracking app out there by far. Go check out Bookit Sports. Jovan, want to go ahead and say happy birthday, my man. Can we get 1 million happy birthday messages in the chat? Can we gas up Jovan for his big fucking day? Feel free to give a speech if you'd like. Okay?
Speech is crazy. Appreciate it though, to you and the people in the chat. So let's get some winners for the birthday. How about that?
Sure.
So we had some cake last night from me. Hand up.
Well, you know what? Today's a new day, new bags, birthday vibes. I got a good feeling about today's plays.
Yeah.
Okay. We got PLL, we got CBB, we got NBA, right? One more day of NBA today before the break, I believe. Plenty to talk about. Plenty to go over today. I'm hype. And Jovan, again, cannot ask for a better co-host, better person, sharper, better. Let's keep killing in the Big 2-5.
Sure.
All right? We got Beetle coming in resubbing. 14 months of Jovan's birthday. Okay, 14-month resub for Beetle. Sure. We got Peyton Josh coming in resubbing. Bang! Let's fucking go, dudes. Jovan, you got a birthday present from Dead Larry Bird in chat. UC Davis.
I
Enjoy
knew
it.
he was going to come over
Treat it
and
nicely.
say that, man. Unbelievable.
You knew he was coming in with the
classic.
sharp Cali play. Yep. Jovan, I'm blown. I was hoping to get Rizzy Fears up here to give you a little birthday song. Couldn't find him. So if anybody in chat knows where Rizzy Fears is, I'd love to get him up here and sing Jovan a happy birthday. Okay. All right, let's have a day. Let's hop in. Let's do the recaps. Let's go ahead and get the cake out of the way, Goots. Yep, go ahead and flash that shit wager icon, please.
Yeah, hand up. Hand up. It's on me. Horrendous wager.
You know, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was worse in the beginning.
It was really bad in the first quarter. Once they settled down, they kind of figured it out, but by then it was a little too late.
And yes, Chad, it actually is Jovan's birthday today. No cap.
Yeah,
actually.
Okay. I know people say once a month it's Jovan's birthday. Today it's actually his birthday. Okay.
They had a 3 at the end to make it a 9-point game.
Yeah,
and
dude,
it literally looked like it was going to go in, and we would have gotten hooked, and it would have felt way worse than it should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were hanging around. It was ugly early, right? They kind of crept back into it.
Threes.
Literally. Yep. They started off, I think, 1 of 18 from 3, which is just awful.
Yeah.
Gosh. I want to personally apologize to Risings as well, because I can tell he bet the Cannons last night, not that over, that Trent was on splooging about. That's on me, Risings. Back-to-back days. Not bad days overall, betting the PLL, but my 2 favorite meat on tape plays, back-to-back days, 2 sides were cake. I apologize. If you bet the Cannons last night, that's on me. But we got a chance for redemption later today. We got the Whip Snakes versus the Cannons in a must-win game. And we're going to talk about it here in a moment. For now, why don't we go ahead and look at the Sharp Report recap from yesterday and see how we did.
Wow. I didn't know we got Krabs sweet piece.
Yeah. Pretty good day. Pretty good day. Fremantle showed up. Tatum and Wemby didn't do shit. Although that one was really sweaty. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, they probably ended with what? 5?
Yeah, 5 piece.
Yeah.
5 piece. Back to Malik W math, 0-5 to 5-0. So I'm not going to do any backflips up here or any cartwheels. But
I feel like whether you or me reverse sweep, it just always ends in a regular sweep the next day.
Yeah, Trent, plus signs don't pay, right?
They don't. No, they definitely do in college basketball this season. That's for sure.
Found out. He was on Johnny's last night.
Yep. Look, these dogs are paying in CBB, especially these road dogs. They did cash on a home dog last night in Villanova, right? Can we put that graphic back up there again? I'm not done with it yet, Gucci. 5-0. Sure. W's. The Gamecocks. I mean, they clawed back into that pup. I thought that was dead, I'll be honest, but they showed so much heart. And then maybe the greatest wager of the night, Valparaiso. Valparaiso with the game of their season. I mean, literally. I've never seen something like it in my entire life. How about the Beacons? Showing up, showing out, winning outright, an absolute dominant performance from the Beacons.
I mean,
my goodness.
That right there is just a vintage Krabs, 3 nasty dogs, random CBB square, and double goat combo NBA square fade. I mean, it's a Krabs card you dream about.
And do you remember when we were on the Surge stream yesterday and Trent asked me to give one actual basketball reason why Valpo is a good play today? And I said Cooper Schweiger, their big man, has a serious mismatch. Well, that guy had 29 points last night.
Tweaked.
29 piece, hold the fry. He'll be playing in fucking ACC next year.
That's one of the other Surge stream systems. There's like a in reg, never pays out. And if you open up stream with the multiple of the same plays in a row, it doesn't pay out. That's just like it's one you know.
Yep. Jack, can we run it back today? Can we go 10-0 in our last 10 plays? I would love it. I would love it.
That'd be huge, Krabs.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Shout out Valpo. Shout out Cooper Schweiger, who will probably be playing on UConn next year. He'll be the next Zach Edey when he transfers. Only a sophomore. Not even kidding. He will transfer somewhere next year at a big school, and he'll be a beast. Okay, so bookmark that.
New Robbie Schweiger, but actually good.
He's him. He's him. All right. Let's keep moving to grooving, gents. Enough talking about the winners from yesterday. We got a couple subbies coming in. Got to gas up the squad. We got money habits coming in. Hats off to Krabs for the St. John's fade. Yes. Yeah, I'm not going to sit up here and tell everybody that was a moose shit bet on the other side because I've been trying to fade St. John's the last couple of games and have not had any success. So good to get one back in the win column there, but I can smell a loss on the horizon for the Johnnies. You knew it was coming, and even the best teams in college basketball drop a game every once in a while. right?
Yeah.
If we didn't relearn that last night or get reminded that last night, I can't help you. I can't help you. Can we discuss some Four Nations today? Would love to ask Jovan towards the end if he has any Four Nations looks. Great game last night.
Yeah, it was
Great
electric.
game to open it up. My goodness. And yes, Trice Picks, cannot forget about it. The Jazz were free last night.
Can't forget about it.
The pitchforks were out. They were showing up out in front of the apartment. And then they silently went away. And the smoke cleared. Okay. W Jazz play last night. But not going to celebrate because we really only went 1-1 on our last two Jazz plays. Okay. W day yesterday. Jovan, I'm hyped. Happy birthday again, my man. Big day today. We're going to hit some bets. We're going to make some coins. Why don't we hop right into it? We got a couple other sub banks coming in here. Holy shit. Back to Malik. We got a hype train moving and grooving. OG Sour. This one snuck by, Jovan. A 5-unit sub whale from OG Sour.
Wow, that snuck.
How did that sneak in there? Brian C. Isaiah Collier. Really good at basketball. He's only going to keep getting better. Love watching him play. Should have taken him again like we talked about yesterday. Okay.
Dude.
Enough talking about yesterday.
Also needs to be studied, man.
Yeah, Clarkson, brutal.
He's not brutal. He's elite. Outside of...
Did he have a triple-double again last night?
I don't know if he had a triple-double, but I know he had 20-plus, and he's been the greatest player of all time for like the past month.
He was on triple-double watch because I remember they were talking about
I didn't see if he finished it because I was pretty tuned out of that game by the time it was coming to a close, but he's been unbelievable.
Okay. Gosh, man, some great games last night. Jovan, let's lock back in for today, and let's go ahead and hop in and talk about some winners. No steamed crabs. Okay, real quick, before we dive into the sharp reports, I got a couple CBB plays today up my sleeve, Jovan, that I'm in love with. We're going to drop this Bookit questionnaire one more time for our OGs, our goats in the chat, the people who are in here every day. We're not posting this on the socials. We're not posting this on the feeds. Just in here because we want to hear from our goats, our OGs who are always in here watching streams. Would love to know what content you guys would like to see more of. All right, do me a favor, guys. Fill out the survey that you guys see in chat. Should not take you long. And let us know what you want to see more of in the Big 2-5. Okay? Jovan, would love to get it started off with a nasty CBB dog on the red.
Look at this Krabs card, man. That is just a vintage Gross Slate Krabs card.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it starts out with a nasty road dog. We're taking the Hofstra Pride on the road and fading William and Mary.
Same card. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel great about it. I feel great about it. And yes, go ahead and splurge. We got Lemoyne and Sam Houston back to back. Okay, but we'll get there. How about Hofstra? And how about the Prides, who have been really struggling of late, but we know they're better than they've been playing. William and Mary, on the other hand, also kind of falling off a cliff right now after an unbelievable start to the season. Shout out the Tribe. Mikey Over has been all over it, cashing all season betting this team. But I think some of that magic is finally starting to wear off here, Jovan, for the Tribe, a team that's just been playing out of their mind, having a legacy season, the best season they've had probably in 30 years, to be completely honest with you, for the Tribe. They got a tough matchup tonight, Jovan. Luckily for them, though, they are 10-0 in home games this season. Let me go ahead and repeat that for the people in the back. William and Mary has not lost a home game this season until tonight when the Hofstra Pride comes into town and steals a win. +2.5, +1.5, whatever you can grab, doesn't matter. I'll back the Pride here on the road as a short dog. I'm no longer afraid to back teams on the road here. In these been majors, they've been printing all season. I'm getting involved.
Be in on that.
I'm getting involved.
Hofstra.
All right. Yep, the Pride.
Damn,
getting involved. Okay. Let's swing it around to Jovan. Let's see what the first birthday play is today. Wow. Much deserving. Get to back your squad on the big day. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
It's kind of usually when any of my teams, whether it's, I guess it really could only be the Heat, Bucks, and Lightning, whenever they play in Dallas, I'm usually there. I didn't realize they were there tonight on birthday, funny enough, but I probably would have been there. And usually when I have a pretty good radar of when I feel like I should be there and when I shouldn't be there. And I feel like I should be there today. It's the first time in a while that I'm actually kind of excited, even though both these teams are pissed. I mean, it's a horrible game heading into the break. The Heat have been just dead for a handful of games now. You know, their offense is not god-awful. They've scored 80 points barely in a lot of these games. And last night was probably the worst fourth quarter I've ever seen from a team. They were on the brink of beating the Thunder outright. And then immediately spawn, I think, to a 20-0 start in the fourth quarter from the Thunder, which the Thunder are the Thunder, but that was an insane showing. But beside the point for today, I mean, today They get to play this Mavs team who is a little shorthanded, obviously, going into the break. But, I mean, the main story is they have no big man. Enter Kel'el Ware and enter Bam. And a lot of the reason that the Heat really haven't been able to keep up when that second bench unit comes in, whether they have Bam by himself, Kel'el by himself, or sometimes they'll run like small ball center and it's like Alec Burks playing the paint, or if Kyle Anderson's playing, he'll pay the paint. It's like they can't keep up in those situations, and that's what they have to put out there. So the offense really struggles. So that's when they get in these fat scoring droughts. I don't think he'll need that today against the Mavs. And obviously, they're coming off of a pretty big game with a lot of guys playing major minutes. Kyrie had an amazing game last night. Clay did what he could. I don't think he splooged as much as he nearly should have, but he cashed pretty much every square you could have taken for him in his little revenge game. They beat the Warriors outright on national television. So now I think this is a much tougher spot. I would not be surprised if some of the guys sit. I mean, Hero could definitely sit for the Heat too. That's a risk you're taking, but I love the matchup for him. This is one of the first games that they've had in quite some time where you really have like a significant advantage, bigs wise. Like the Thunder are small, but it's not really small in a way where you can just batter them because you're going to have to play small ball to counter what they do offensively, and really to throw a bunch of defenders at Shea too. Mavs are very different. So like this is one where I think Bam and Kel'el can absolutely grub in this game. Probably more so Bam, but Kel'el is a nice Swiss Army knife to have, especially when you have really no four to guard for the Mavs either, because they're probably going to be running out. Najee Marshall is a great defender, but a little undersized, be playing Kel'el Ware, and PJ Washington's out throughout the rest of the break. So I did think it was a little weird. They're favored on the road, so I do want to lean into that.
Back in the Heat on your big day. Enough said. I'm in.
Yeah.
Chat's
I haven't been able to take them in a while because they're
it's been a while. It's been a while since you put them up here. Okay.
Yeah.
We got Big Matty Mark coming in, resubbing for 19 months. Happy birthday, Jovan. Keep up the good work, both you guys. I think it's Grand Canyon tonight. Would love your thoughts. Thanks. W Subby coming in from Big Matty Marts. We appreciate you, Beast. You will not see me caught dead with a Grand Canyon ticket in my pocket ever this season. I said before the year, if you fade them every game, you're making coins, and they are 7-15 against the spreads. And I will say they are coming off an outright loss to Cal Baptist. Can't make it up. They lost to a pretty scrappy team in their last contest. So I don't want to fade Grand Canyon today, but I certainly wouldn't be taking it. Yvonne, any thoughts on Grand Canyon laying 11.5 against Tarleton?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably their game. I have so much trouble betting on Grand Canyon, not in the sense that it's cake whenever I take it, but because they're the literal public team, popular team that always gets super inflated lines. Like even when you think they're in a good spot, most of the times they're not. So I mean, I lean that way, but I can't do it.
Okay. All right. Let's keep powering through here, folks. We'll swing it back around to my straight bets and see what play number 2 is. We've already talked about it. It's about time, chat. We can finally bet the Lemoyne Dolphins. Let's fucking go. I've been very, very patient. I've been waiting
to get a Lemoyne
all
jersey,
season.
dude.
Yeah, if they come through tonight, I'm in. This Lemoyne team, I've been waiting patiently to back them all year. I don't even know if I've bet them once this season. I'll be honest with you. If I did, it was very early on. Lemoyne, they are on a tough stretch right now, folks. This team is 2-8 in their last 10. They're on a 5-game losing streak. They can't buy one. Luckily, Wagner's coming into town. A team that's just as bad, just as depleted. A team that over the years was a much more solid program. They went to March Madness a couple times. They won their conference, but of late, Wagner's kind of fallen off a cliff. And in this spot, seeing Lemoyne with only 7 wins this season on this losing streak, thought it was pretty weird seeing them as a favorite in the neck against Wagner. But this Wagner team might just be that bad. I'll be honest with you at this point. I think they just are. And they've lost 2 straight games in a row. I'm not about this Wagner squad anymore. I don't think they're as dominant as they were in recent seasons. And I will back the Lemoyne Dolphins, laying 2.5 points, but I'll take the M out. There's no reason why this 7-18 team should be a favorite. I don't care if they're home. I don't care how bad Wagner is. I think this is the most telling Lemoyne line all year, and I've been waiting for this shit. Today we get to lock it in.
Let's go. The Dolphins, I'm in.
Back in the Lemoyne Dolphins. Should be a good look.
Goats.
All right. Let's see what you're cooking up for play number 2 as we get 5 subbies coming in from Flatwoods, fella. Let's fucking go, Flatwoods. Atta boy. How about a 5-piece?
Goats.
Love to see it. All right, Jovan. Tell me about this over.
Yeah, I mean, probably not your favorite play. Probably no Memphis over really could be, but limited stuff today. I wanted to get involved with this game because I thought this game was really interesting. So, like USF, They had the double overtime last time they were at home, double overtime game, super emotional spot. It was the celebration game for the coach. So like I kind of didn't know that before the game. I would have got involved, but they were fired up. An amazing game. They beat Temple. Weird because they ended up with no Mashburn heading into that game. Then they followed it up, and I mean, just a super obvious letdown spot. A couple days after that, over the weekend against Wichita, where they lost at home. Now they're back again for their third straight home game against a Memphis team that is just having such a weird last couple of games. Like you thought it was going to be the letdown spot for Temple after that game themselves, and they've been after a million overtimes, but they found their way to keep themselves in that game, still shoot themselves in that game, and cover that game at Memphis. Now they're going back to Tampa, and this is going to be a high-paced game. There's going to be a lot of tempo. But the thing with Memphis, whenever I'm sort of backing them, I don't want to take them on the spread because Penny just doesn't cover as a favorite. I've been through that already, but I still think they do. And one of the reasons why is because USF, I mean, they can't guard the paint to save their lives. So like a lot of these games where like Memphis is forced to shoot themselves out, like even though they covered the game, but like the Tulane game is an example, like they're forced to shoot themselves out of the game, and against a team that plays like zone or I don't know, stop everything, play no middle, they struggle a little bit. They'll go through scoring droughts, but against those smaller teams, that's when they pick up the pace, even more so because they know they have that crutch in the middle. USF has really no interior presence. So I think they're going to have no trouble scoring, but I do think obviously it's a good spot for USF to pick up the scoring as well. And both these teams turn over the ball a ton, which could go one of two ways. It could just be turnover after turnover and really nothing for offense, but these teams are also really good at converting these turnovers into points. So leaning more into that, I think it's going to be a big transition game. And when everything else fails for Memphis, I think Dane Danger is going to absolutely grub.
They got a couple guys. They got Dane. You got PJ Haggerty, who I think is one of the better players in college basketball. Better scorers. Yeah. One of the better scorers in college basketball. He doesn't play defense, but kid's an absolute bucket, right? Memphis has plenty of weapons. Let's hope USF can keep up. They are home. And that total's moving up a couple points as well. It's pretty high. But these teams, they don't mind playing in games that are high tempo, high points, high scoring. I could see it. Sure.
Yeah.
They played yet this season? No, not yet.
No.
Okay. All right. Little over down in South Florida. Sign me up.
Yeah.
You want to talk about NoCo since it's here? We could swing it around.
Yeah. I mean, probably not another one that you really love to see because it's a relatively like simple play. They're playing Sacramento State. Granted, it's on the road, but Sacramento State is horrible in every single fashion of ball. Just an atrocious team. 6-18. They haven't covered, I don't think, in a while in a handful of games, but they did play them the first time when they actually went to NoCo, and that was not only a game that they only lost by 4 and comfortably covered, but it was 68-64, which, if anybody knows anything about NoCo, not the most common occurrence because they love to run. Sacramento State can run with some teams too, but to see that game be as low scoring as it was, I think it was a little more of an anomaly than something you expect for a lot of these games for NoCo, and they've been getting stronger. They've been playing much better over the course of, like, I guess the start of this month, especially against some of these games against in-conference teams. So they're preparing for a big home stretch, more so to close the season. And I think this is a pretty crucial game to that. You see them catching a little bit of steam on the road, which again, I don't think is weird because it is Sacramento State, who was absolutely horrendous. But looking after the way that first game went, which Sacramento State like really shot themselves into that game, I don't think that's happening again. And especially being that ever since that game, really, Sac State's been on a hell of a slide. I don't think that's any sort of accident. So short slate. So plays are not, I don't know, my favorite compared to some other ones, but kind of want to keep attacking them. Think they're going to be in a free fall.
Fading Sac State. They are atrocious. NoCo's been on fire of late. Winners of 4 of their last 5. One of the better teams in this conference. Coming off that big-time win against Montana State. I think they were home in that one. Now they head to the roads, and they're laying a pretty big number. At least they're catching some steam there, almost up to 10.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Let's swing it back around, Gucci. I got one more straight bet for the peeps. Okay, and it's probably the nastiest one of them all. How about Sam Houston? God, this one just feels good. You got Sam Houston against Jacksonville State. Right now, Jovan, maybe the hottest team in college basketball. Jacksonville State playing some great ball. Maybe the best team in that conference as well. And Sam Houston, much of the opposite. This team cannot buy a win. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Sam Houston is on a L streak right now like no other. But in their last 2 games on the roads, honestly, their last 3 games on the roads, they showed some heart. They kept it close against Louisiana Tech. FIU and Liberty, they played well in all those games. They even covered against Liberty and kept that game within 3 points. So although Sam Houston has not seen the results that they're waiting for, they're not getting the wins. They're playing a little bit better of late. And at home, I want to back the Bearcats and fade this red-hot Jacksonville State team that looks like the easiest play on the books, one of the hottest teams in college basketball with a 17-7 records, plus chicken against 8-16 Sam Houston. Yeah, this line reeks, and I'm in. I want a piece of Sam Houston at home, lay the ML. They get it done.
Dude, I'm so in. You have to wear the jersey today. You have to wear the jersey.
Should I go try to find it?
Yeah, you might need it, honestly.
Give me a sec.
Yeah. You got Steak and Chat. Happy birthday. Appreciate it. Fuck Trent and Paulo. What a big three there. What a big three. 1 and 3 are pretty much the same thing. But that too is electric. Absolutely electric. We ride the Steak. Yeah, we can go squares. I'm down for some squares. I hope Trent leaves so he doesn't see the first square. But let's go Chet. Fantasy score today. And the Thunder, I mean, it's a big game. So, I don't know what the importance weighs of this game for them. But, if we get an SGA rest day or Jalen Williams rest day, I wouldn't be incredibly shocked. But just in this case, Chet got rested last night for this game. If you know anything about Chet, he's playing in his hometown tonight in Minnesota, which I think is a big game. And not only that, but he's going to be playing a little bit more of the 4, which, much different from the first couple matchups they had, against last year against the Wolves, where he was forced to go one-on-one with Rudy Gobert. Now you have Hartenstein in there. You can play the 4, a little bit different of a matchup, which I think is perfect. But this is really just a game. I want to back Chet when he goes to his hometown, when I think I like the Thunder in the game. And again, injury news can only really be on my side for this one. So I took the fantasy score. I want to include the stocks. He's been a monster since he's come back on the defensive side of the ball. So I really didn't want to eliminate that from the fold, especially when I think Anthony Edwards is going to have a pretty tough time, which forces everybody else to work with the ball in their hands. So I'm in on that. It's we got a 5U whaler from Dilgod. Absolutely love that. Happy birthday, Mr. Frogs is crazy. I need to get him back up and moving. You can't find it?
It's either in my hamper or it might be at my old place.
That's
so I gotta
horrendous vibes, Krabs.
I know that is not a great start.
Horrendous vibes.
Locking in Sam Houston today. It might be in the hamper. I'm not going to dig through that shit live on stream right now. We'll figure that out later. Okay. Fuck.
Horrendous.
I needed that jersey, bro. I needed that softball jersey for the vibes, right? All right. Whatever. We'll be okay.
Might be dead.
Did you go over both squares, Chet and Jose, and old friends?
Not both, but yeah, Chet in his hometown, taking his fantasy score. Then Grand Theft Alvarado. This is probably going to be relatively popular today, just by looking at the game logs and what he's done. They played the Kings 2 times in the past week and a half. So he's done job for the most part. And now, again, another one kind of like the Thunder, where there's nothing officially announced yet for the Pelicans, but I would be a little surprised if Zion, CJ, and Trey Murphy are all playing back-to-back again right before the All-Star break. So that would help the square, but it's also, an up-tempo spot for them against the Kings, where I do think they hang in this a little bit. The only reason I'm not taking the Pelicans right now is because I'm a little scared that injury news is going to drop, so I'm going to get a horrendous number as far as CLV goes, but I want to take the Pelicans. I think he's going to be a huge part of facilitating that. He was super aggressive last night with everybody in the lineup, and I don't see why it would be any different tonight, especially if somebody ends up being out. And safe to say the Kings defense does not scare me, especially on that second unit that he was absolutely torching last night. So sticking to it. Again, you'll probably see it on Twitter quite a bit, especially if one of these guys gets ruled out, but I really don't have a choice.
All right. 2 WNBA squares, and I love the narrative in the Chet game as well. He's coming home. All right, he's going to want to put on. I'm in.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's flip it around. Let's show the people my prize pick squares. 2 CBB squares that I'm bringing to the table today. And one, a guy who I typically fade, a guy who I'm typically roasting. But, Jovan, I'm coming around to the Terps, man. I'm coming around to the Terps. And Julian Reese is coming off his worst game probably of the season, where he had 2 rebounds, 4 points, 5 fouls. Played less than 20 minutes in that game. An embarrassing performance against Rutgers. I think he bounces back today in a game where they match up okay with Nebraska, a team that plays bigger than they are, but they're going to have one heck of a time slowing down those 2 behemoths in the paint for Maryland. Julian Reese, is not the only stud down low for this team. You've obviously got Queen, who's going to be probably a top 15 pick in the NBA draft coming up here. When all eyes are on Derek Queen, the big man who's an absolute stud, I think Julian Reese bounces back after his worst game of the season in a game where I like the over and a game where I like the Terps. And if you take a peep at some of his charts, you might want to get involved as well. I'm back in a guy who I typically fades, but not today. Flipping the script, Jovan, taking Julian Reese more than points and rebounds. Hold the assists.
Sure. I'm in on that.
Okay.
Somebody's got to do it, whether Tim or Derek against that Nebraska team.
Somebody has to do it. Yes. And then I got another nasty square, Graham Ike, coming off of not his best games. But I love the over in this late night game. Thought about maybe taking Gonzaga, laying a big old number, but I don't want to fade Malik Thomas, San Francisco and co. Instead, I think the over is probably a pretty good look here. I thought this total was astronomically high. And when these two teams play, we typically do see points. So I'm not expecting much defense to be played in this game. And Graham Ike coming off a couple mid performances, I think he grubs against the San Francisco interior that really has nothing to write home about. They really don't have a good big man. They played two guys. I'm not impressed really what they got going on down low at all. I think Graham Ike dominates, and Greg probably gets involved as well for Gonzaga. Love the over, love points, love Gonzaga to cover. I'll back Graham Ike to drop a 20 piece.
Yeah. Won't hear any argument from me. I'm kind of with you on that over and points in that game too.
Good. All right. Nebraska's 4-man is hurt. Wow. Yeah. Sam Hoiberg 3 squares, a crabby play. It is. We talked about that on TMA earlier today. He's got a pretty red square up there for half a three. He's averaging 3.5 points per game. That was an interesting square, I thought. He probably hits that, if I had to guess, but I don't know if I'll be taking it.
Yeah.
All right. Dubs. All right, guys. W squares, W sharp reports. I think now's a good time to maybe talk about the PLL Championship Series before we get into
moving, dude.
Yeah, let's get it up and moving. Before we get into the
game
CBB
last
and NBA.
night was exploding.
Great game. Sucks that I had to sit there with a cannon sticking in my pocket. Man. I mean, they were down early. They never had a chance. That's okay. We got a chance to make our coins back. And BookitwithTrent for locking in that over as well yesterday. I'll give him some credit there. Tip cap. Great play. Today, Jovan, we've got 2 games. You got 1 PLL game, and you got 1 WLL game as well. I'll be there boots on ground. Maryland needs a win. Boston needs a win. Whoever loses this game, I believe, is eliminated from this tournament. Goods, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but either way, both these teams are still looking for their first win in a must-win spot here. I'm going to back the Whipsnakes on the ML. They get a day rest in between, right? The Cannons are coming off a game just last night. They're going to have some tired legs. And Kirst, I mean, he looked like he was seeing ghosts in the net, just like Krabs was for the Whipsnakes. But after a day off, you get to hit the reset button. You get some rest as well. That's huge for the Maryland attack, huge for TJ Malone, huge for Matt Rambo. Some fresher legs in this game. So even if the Cannons get out to an early lead, don't be surprised if the Whipsnakes creep back into it late because they'll have more energy, more stamina in this puppy. I want to fade the Cannons playing back-to-back days.
I mean, you know I'm down, Krabs. I'm
me the
so
whips
down to
on the
leave
ML.
the Cannons and Asher Nolting. I'm down to leave them in 2024.
Bro, Asher Nolting has the most points in this tournament so far.
I know, but it's early in the game when it was actually splooging in like the first half. I look and he did nothing.
Yeah, I know. It was a lot of garbage time points. I'll give you that.
Moose.
A lot of garbage time points. All right, give me the Whipsnakes at plus chicken, folks. And WSBR coming in. Let's go.
SBR.
Let's go, dudes. Ron is so dialed in the PLL as well. He's got some nugs for us. 6 of the Snakes players haven't played in this format. And also, this is their first exposure to the PLL. Yes, their roster definitely not as stacked as some of the others for sure. But I got a weird feeling Brendan Krabs stands on his fucking head in net today and absolutely dominates after a poor first showing. I think he shows up. Let's go, Brendan Krabs. Big day for him today.
Huh?
Big day for him today. All right. I don't have a lean in that late night game. I'll be honest with you, but if I had to take something, I'd probably take the guard and fade the charm. Charlotte North is just different. She is unbelievable. Had 5 goals, I believe, in that game the other night. I would probably back the guards on the ML, but that's just a lean. And I really don't want to fade Maryland.
We need some Charlotte North prize pick squares, man.
Oh my goodness. They would feed fams.
Dude.
They would feed fams.
Literally be super guts.
I doubt we're getting squares for this series since there's so many points. A lot going on, but we'll get squares back up for the regular season.
Yeah, for the regular season, I'm down, dude.
Sure. Flatwoods, bro, you're a goat. We appreciate you, man. 5 subbies. We got tons of 5 subby whales coming in. Flatwoods fella, Dill God, SBR bets, and then Flatwoods fella coming back for seconds. How about it? We appreciate all you guys. W subs on Jovan's big day. Okay.
So Primer just got his promo coin from the giveaway, and he put it all on a golf 3-piece. Should go well, Prime.
Good luck, Prime.
Should go well.
Wishing you the best of luck. Yes, W reminder. And another 5-unit sub whale from Flatwoods. Are you kidding me? Another 5U whale? Happy birthday, Jovan. And this time it's actually his birthday. Don't you just love to see it?
Rare.
Sure.
Rare time it actually is.
I also meant to put this Sharp Report 4-man in the chat, which I'm going to do right now. On Twitch, if you want to get involved, I'll drop the link to the Sharp Report 4-man that we just went over. Our 4 prize pick squares in one lineup. Okay? Any Goots POD squares? I know you spoon-fed a 2-piece. You want to let the people know about any of those plays?
Yeah, so Sepp already started. So I can give Victor Hovland, he hasn't started yet, less than strokes.
Okay.
Literally starting. He might be starting right now, so could be cookie. But I don't mind Shane Lowry either if he's up. Big
Shane.
It's raining.
You're gonna tell me twice.
Taking some Europeans is good in my eyes in that weather, playing links type golf.
Isn't Shane the guy who plays better? Yeah.
Say it again.
Lowry 73 strokes.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Doesn't he play better in harsh conditions? Isn't he the best?
He's Irish, so when you're growing up playing golf in Ireland, it's links type golf. It's on the water, so it's rainy, foggy. So yeah, I mean, Irish and English usually pretty good in that type of weather.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe it's Big Shane. All right.
Literally looks pretty hard out there right now, so tread lightly. I would wait till this weather passes. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday should be way better. But
you find some random dude down here. Who's Andrew Novak? You might be Tiger.
I love Andrew Novak. That's one of my.
You might be Tiger.
He might be Tiger.
I love.
He might be Tiger.
He missed a cut last week by 1 shot.
Ooh, revenge narrative.
Wow.
Okay.
Could be.
All right. Sure. And as Goots gives that square, he immediately tees off.
2 square, GG.
Okay. Well, Gootsy, W2 piece. I locked that puppy in. 1-1 OCA coming in. Krabs, bro. Valpo +5. Could have been the freest wager year nomination. Great fucking bet. Thank you for tailing, brother. Thank you for tailing. Okay. Yeah, you could back the lefty, Akshay. Slim Reaper.
Akshay, is he up and moving?
Billy the kid's bringing him up in chat.
Dude, I'm trying to find some random golfer on the board.
Okay. Akshay is him now.
Yeah, he is. All right. Well, WPLL talk here, guys. Whip Snakes on the ML at plus chicken. I would tread lightly on the over tonight in this game. I know we saw an absolute splooge fest of goals last night. I hope you enjoyed it. But as you could tell, I mean, the scoring slowed down a ton in the second half, and I'm banking on a couple revenge narratives from both these goalies. I think both guys put up better performances after getting destroyed in their first games of the Champ Series. Colin Kirst and Brendan Krabs in net. Expecting much better games from both those two goalies. Give me the under in the game and give me the Whip Snakes on the ML. 7 p.m. Eastern, I believe on ESPN+. Okay? W's. Jovan, do you want to talk about some of these mid-major games?
Yeah.
CBB.
There's a lot of them.
I'm excited for this slate today. A lot of ball sack states, Tons of them. Chat might need us today. Okay. We'll save some of these. We don't need to go over, Binghamton and UMBC, but we can talk about some of these mid-majors. You got Queens laying 6.5 on the road to Bellarmine. Jovan, what's the rule on Bellarmine? Let's go ahead and remind the people in chat.
We don't take them, but they're always sharp.
Always sharp. Don't take them. And shit, you might not even want to fade them, to be honest with you. But, you'd make some coins this year if you had been. But just keep Bellarmine off to the sides, please. As sharp as they could look at any spot, they are 3-22 this season. They are that bad. Guys, NIL is here. The game has changed. Some of these teams at the bottom of the barrel are that bad. Okay, as the teams at the top get better, the teams at the bottom get worse. Simple math. Okay, and they are Beller meat. Yep, like Chiote's saying in chat,
Beller meat.
Yeah, they're Beller meat. So although I want to take Queens today, I can't fade Beller meat because I'm not allowed to bet on them because they don't respect coins. But I certainly wouldn't be betting on Beller meat. That's for sure. I would lean Queens. Okay. Looks like another sharp spot for Georgia State. Sure.
Ish.
Okay. We'll go ahead and let that one splooge as well. Let's talk about NCA&T and Elon. Don't get too excited now, chat. Okay. Let's talk about NCA&T and Elon. Jovan, I got some thoughts on this game.
Do you?
Most probably don't, but I do. You got NCA&T, who's 4-21. They're atrocious. This team was investigated for potentially point shaving earlier on in the season. They released a couple players from the team. Guarantee us something comes out in a little bit about all that. But right now, this team's actually trying, and they're playing like people are watching them, right? We saw the same thing with a couple teams who've been under the radar of these investigations over the recent years, right? Like Temple, where once the news broke, it's like a switch flipped. Crazy coincidence that once people are finding out about these rumors and potential point shaving going on, that automatically they start playing much, much better, and the ball is going in the hoop. Isn't that a crazy coincidence, Jovan? Well,
pretty weird.
Yeah, NCA&T, after that news has come out, has played two of their best games of the season. Has not resulted in wins, but, I mean, they played two of the best teams in their conference extremely well. They played College of Charleston very well and covered plus 17.5. They almost won that game outright. They lost by 3. And then the game after that, they played against Campbell, and sure, Campbell's without their stud, their best player, whose leg literally came out, or his bone came out of his leg a couple weeks ago, and one of the grossest injuries I've ever seen for Campbell, their best player. NCA&T was able to hang around in that game on the roads, which is very impressive. I think this team has flipped a switch and turned it on, and I want to bet them again on the road against an Elon team that got out to a great start this season, Jovan. They still have a great record, but it's night and day what we're seeing on the court for Elon compared to the beginning of the season. This team can't buy a bucket right now. They've lost and not covered 4 of their last 5. I know they're home, but I want to bet NCA&T here. It looks like they're sharp once again.
That wouldn't be down, or it would be down. Ride the wagon.
Plus 12.5. Plus 12.5.
Prove some people wrong. Prove the feds wrong. Get them off their side.
Yeah, I think they're playing for their life right now, trying to make it seem like they're not, rigging the games.
Yeah.
Jovan, I got another question for you here. This is good. This is good reminder time for people in chat. We got College of Charleston, who's been very impressive so far this season without coach, I will say. It helps when you have Bronzovic, or however you say his name still. He's averaging like 20 points a game. He's an absolute stud. He's stuck around. Respect to him for staying. But Jovan, what's our rule here involving UNC Wilmingtons?
Don't fade them.
Can't fade them. Can't fade them. Not allowed. It never works. Never has, never will. Okay? As much as I'd love to back a scrappy College of Charleston team here, getting 6.5 points, you can't. And if anything, you should be taking UNC Wilmington laying the points at home. There's not many teams who respect coins more than UNC Wilmington at home. It's just facts.
It's just facts.
Tyler
Hero Nuggets?
Would love to hear about Tyler Hero.
I don't bet on Hero right now, dude. He thinks he's the greatest of all time because he got named an all-star, so now he's shooting 25 times a game, and it's just not going in, dude. Like, I'm betting on the Heat, but I'd much rather would bet Bam than Khalil Ware. Tyler has a great game. Fantastic. That'd be great for Heat ML, but not count. Yeah. I also wouldn't count out the fact that he doesn't play.
Oh, you think he might be out?
I mean, yeah, I think there's going to be a couple late announcements, especially with him going to All-Star Weekend, and quite obviously nobody else is.
Got a note on my phone today that Jordan Poole should be an All-Star. Didn't even read the article.
He did drop. What do you have, 40?
Yeah. I put the phone down. Couldn't get myself to read it. Had to be propaganda. Although he's having a pretty good year. He's been up and down, but he's having a pretty darn good year. Okay. Jovan, I'm looking at what they're saying.
Turn the noties off.
Go ahead and turn those noties off, brother. Yep. I'm not seeing anything about Hero, any injury designations yet, but we'll see.
Oh, I know, Krabs. I'm not. Yeah, he's not like hurt going into the game. I'm talking about. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised. Just like, there were a couple of them yesterday that popped up that I kind of saw coming. It's just last game before the All-Star break, the Heat are on a back-to-back.
Yep.
Somebody's going to be out. And if it's the only guy going to All-Star weekend, I would not be shocked.
Okay. All right. Caleb Muse, I know, man. You don't got to tell me twice. Shit. We'll be back. We'll be back, Caleb Muse. Don't worry. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving here. I want to talk about some more of these mid-major ball sack states. I want to make sure that people know about Hofstra. +2.5, +1.5 on the road against William & Mary, who's undefeated at home this season. Okay, that's a sharp report play, folks. Do not let it get swept. Another game that I was eyeing, Jovan, was Vermont, a team that I've been very, very good of late. Not betting this team because they just don't seem like the same Vermont squad, the Catamounts that we've seen dominate their conference in recent years. But Vermont's starting to get it going here. A couple good games in a row, an outright win against Albany in that last one. Pretty dominant on the road, if I could say so myself. And New Hampshire comes in off of 2 wins. We know how bad this New Hampshire team is. One of the worst teams in college basketball. But they're coming off of an outright upset against UMBC at home, and they were +8.5. And they beat NJIT at home outright. But now they got to head to the road at Vermont, one of the tougher places to play in the country. That place will be packed up tonight. They love their basketball up there in Vermont. I think it's Vermont again, but the only thing keeping me off this, Jovan, is that Vermont has already destroyed New Hampshire once this season. They beat them 60-40 at New Hampshire. That might be what keeps me off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same headspace with you. And you would love to fade New Hampshire because they're god-awful, and obviously they're coming off of 2 of their best games of the year. But, my rule that is keeping me off of this is I'm not taking sharp, big home favorites in this general range. So if they splooge and win by 20, they do it. I'll tip cap to that. I'm good.
Okay. And that's probably the right move, and I think I'm going to follow suit there as well. I don't think I'm going to get to the counter.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's look at some more of these ball sack state games here, folks.
UNF, Northern Alabama. Mikey Over's over.
Is that the highest total of the day today?
I mean, it's probably got to be, right?
165.5. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Not a lick of defense being played in that game.
Yeah, not a lick.
I'm not sprinting to bet it, but I definitely wouldn't be taking that under.
Yeah.
That's for sure. All right. Let's look at some of these other games. High Point and Longwood. Really good mid-major matchup on ESPN U tonight. Longwood coming off of 3 straight L's. Again, fading High Point is bad business, but this season they're not playing great against the spread, and they're coming off of a crazy 104 to 100 point win in their last game.
Yeah.
Could potentially have some tired legs in this one after that OTW at home where they barely skated by. Maybe Longwood comes in after 3 losses and covers and keeps it within 10 points.
You could see that. Could absolutely see that. You know what else
I didn't have
Krabs?
What?
I'm looking at the game, at least on my screen, right below that. That is really weird. Jacksonville on the road at Central Arkansas, another meat team. Like Jacksonville is sloth space, so like they're super slow. But for whatever reason, no matter if the team's good or bad, they really have a tough time against any team that runs relatively fast. Central Arkansas is really, whenever they play a slow team, it's quite the same story, or quite the opposite story. They play them pretty well. So I wonder if this might be a little tricky of a spot for the Dolphins, the other Dolphins, not Lemoyne.
Right. Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Certainly could be. I don't know if I want to back that home dog getting that many points, but they should be getting that many points because they're atrocious and they're playing a much better Jacksonville team. So
terrible.
I mean, Jacksonville is up to 12.5, bro.
I know. I'm fading some steam doing that. Fully aware, but for what it's worth, pretty big matchup for Jacksonville on the road looming on Saturday. They go to play Northern Alabama, so that's 2 versus 4 in the ASUN. Pretty big matchup for conference standings purposes. So maybe a sneak look ahead. They dropped the ball a little bit against UCA.
We got by God in chat, Jovan. Would you look at that?
My God.
That was an unbelievable sell job on yesterday's stream. By God. Unbelievable work. Good to see you in chat, my man. We're doing well. We're doing well. Okay. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Jovan, I can't bet Central Arkansas, but I also won't be on Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, they're either going to lose by 40 or come very close to winning outright.
Want to go ahead and remind people that Sam Houston, who's 8-16 this season and on a crazy losing streak, tonight is -2.5 against Jacksonville State, one of the hottest teams in the mid-majors in college basketball, and they're 17-7 this season. Go and remind people that.
Yep.
Okay. Because that doesn't make a lick of sense. It doesn't.
Yep.
And I want to find out why. All right. Big time putt from Vic. Let's go. Dave Martinez's burner. W updates. W update. All right. Give me Sam Houston. That might be my favorite play tonight.
Really?
No bias whatsoever.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at some of these other mid-majors. Stetson Lipscomb. Nothing really there for me. Stetson on a 4-game losing streak after playing okay about 2 weeks ago, but that little stretch is done. And Lipscomb's been dominant. So probably not getting cute there back in the road dog. I guess I can bring up the best game of the night tonight, Jovan, and get your thoughts. I think you probably already know mine if you were listening to TMA, but the Terps +1.5 on the roads against Nebraska is starting to heat up right now, right? They've won 4 straight games in a row. I think this might be Twitter sharp, fake sharp POD on Nebraska. I want to take the Terps. As crazy as that sounds, I want to back the Terps who struggle on the roads, who've already pulled off 2 monumental wins on the road so far this season that have kept Kevin Willard's job secure for now, right? I want to bet Maryland. And I know they had that collapse against Ohio State on the road after those 2 big wins. I want to back them after that loss. That was a unbelievable collapse that you don't see every day, folks, in that game. That was an insane L that should not have happened, plain and simple. I want to back the Terps here to get their lick back, and they look great in their last game as well. I think, Jovan, you were talking about it a couple weeks ago. This team might be built for March. This is the best Terps team I've seen since Gary Williams was the coach, since I was a little fucking kid. They're stacked. They do everything pretty well, right? They do it all. Yeah. They got defense. Their guards play defense. They got Rodney Rice who can score. Gillespie plays defense. He can guard the perimeter. They got 2 great bigs. I don't think there's a better 1-2 big combo in college basketball right now. This Terps team is legit, and you're going to start seeing them get more respect on the road, especially if they pull off a win like this.
100%. I will say this, though. This is the first time I think I can remember for a while that we've had an unranked home favorite against the ranked road dog, and I don't think I've heard a peep about the home favorite, which is concerning me a little bit. Like regardless of what game it is, whatever conference it's in, it feels like that is a lot more prevalent on the Twitter sphere than I've seen Nebraska today, which is concerning me a little bit. I love the Terps. I think they're built for March right with you, but today I'm a little concerned because it seems like I think everybody's in that headspace.
Damn. I don't love hearing that. Over Wolf and Golden? Well, Wolf and Golden should be better. And they probably still are. But it's a little closer. It's a little closer than I think people think. Nebraska ML will feed families, SVN saying. Seeing some corn emotes. I can't do it, man. I like the Terps. But definitely concerning, Jovan, if you have not seen a Huskers ticket floating around.
No, which is, again, shocking because especially with the slate we have. I mean, this is the best game, at least by name value, by a significant margin. And fits the system and everything, and Twitter sharps must be asleep at the wheel today because they're not liking the Huskers very much.
Jovan, thoughts on Alex Bregman signing with the Red Sox for 3 years?
It's a good deal. I mean, I don't know how long he'll be there. They're definitely, I mean, it's big money for short term with opt-out, so he's probably going to do the same thing that, you know, all the Boris clients really do. Just like, I don't know, Snell did, like you opt out and you get a bigger contract, hopefully, depending on his performance. But I don't know, it's a good signing for the Red Sox. I just don't know, like, if I were them, like, it's cool in the immediate, but I thought this year was going to be to develop somebody in the middle infield, like the Christian Campbell that's coming up a little sooner. But now that seems like it's kind of pushed the timetable back on that a little bit. I know they're trying to compete like right now. It feels like a little desperation move for desperation that I didn't really know was there.
Well, they're seeing the Yankees stacking up their squad, and they're saying we got to fucking do something, and we're gonna get our asses kicked again this year. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I mean the AL East is going to be stacked. I mean the Yankees
Yeah.
will be good. Rays are obviously going to be good, much better. Blue Jays I think will be better too. So like you got to do something, I guess. But I don't know.
You didn't mention the other team in that division.
The other team that's going to miss the playoffs? No, I don't need to talk about them.
Okay.
Goots howling through the mic, laughing like he just saw Shane Gillis stand up. Hearing Jovan say that.
Yeah.
All time. Yeah, well, let me ask you this. Do you really think Bregman's going to play second base?
Yeah, he'll play some second base. Yeah, they'll definitely take some time, both for health purposes and because Devers is a horrendous fielder for all of his years but one in the MLB, to put him at DH and leave Bregman at third, especially like tail end of the year, maybe when Campbell comes up or they have some other traction in the middle infield, then I think it'll be a lot more Bregman at third, Devers DHing, especially like if Yoshida also gets hurt because he can't stay healthy either. So like that's the only thing that's keeping Devers at third for a little bit.
Yeah, they want to get Yoshida in the lineup.
Yeah, they said they were always in the mix for him, and then they just freed up the money and made sense to pay him and get him. So
yeah.
Corbin Burns is on the Diamondbacks. Casper.
Yep, he is.
Yep.
He's probably going to have a 2 ERA flat.
Yep,
probably lights out.
He's going to be unbelievable. I was thinking about that last night.
In the D-backs this year.
You know who else is on the D-backs that I think sneakily, I mentioned it to Trent, I think he's going to have a massive year. People forget Josh Naylor's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he's hitting nukes this year.
No wind tunnel, though.
He definitely...
Yeah, no
wind tunnel, but big old gaps.
Big old gap
in right center field that he can utilize.
He's have a
double machine this season.
He will have a
he's going to be
run game against the Rockies this year at that stadium. Guaranteed.
Yeah, he's going to be like, I guess for a majority of the year, but like at the beginning of the year, like Gurriel was a plat-mucking RBI machine for them. I think Naylor's just going to be the lefty version of that, I think, which is huge.
Don't forget about Geraldo Perdomo as well.
Oh, yeah, go. Best, depending on where you put him, best 9-hitter, maybe of all time.
Well, now I want to talk about my team because you guys just talked about some of your teams.
Nats.
I want to ask you guys a question. As a non-biased MLB fan, as baseball guys, right? And chat, feel free to get involved in this as well. Here's a question I got from Mike Rizzo, who I trust and I respect. Most don't. People think he's a terrible GM. He's a great GM. He's a great GM. But I got one question for Mike Rizzo. What's the game plan when we're winning a game in the 9th inning and you need to pull out a closer out of the bullpen and we don't have one? What the fuck do we do? Look at our bullpen. We don't have anybody.
That question for you, Krabs?
We don't have anybody. I mean, unless Sean Doolittle is moving from the bench, being the greatest assistant pitching coach of all time, going back in the fucking game on the bump, we don't got anybody. That bullpen is going to cost us a potential sneaky season.
Well, Krabs, I got one question for you. Like, what season?
Dude, I think the Nats can be scrappy this year.
Is it going to cost you like your 61st win?
Hey, have you seen where their win total's at?
Yeah, a little higher. I mean, it should be.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
Good young core. Good young pitchers. We have 10 great young pitchers. So if the guys we start with stink, send them down, bring the other guys up. Some of them will work. The ones over the years have. I mean, these random McGee's showing up, showing out. We got great young arms. We got a great young roster.
We'll send Charlie Morton down the beltway for you. You can throw him in the bullpen.
I still am waiting for the answer. Maybe it is Jorge Lopez right now, like James is saying. People forget we did bring in Jorge. Goots has got.
Yeah.
Former O.
At the end of the day, if you're the Nats, like they're not winning games with your bullpen, obviously, but like if you're going to win games, it's going to be because like Mackenzie Gore throws 7 innings of 1-run ball.
I know, but that's my point. We're going to ruin these opportunities by not having anybody to come out of the pen, and we're going to ruin all these great starts for these young guys. They're going to have no confidence, and it's going to kill any sort of momentum we had this season.
Well, I know. I'm saying, like, if you're good enough to come out and at some point, like, have a pulse, like, it'll do something about it.
Yeah,
It's just
there's always arms out there.
Yeah, like if you're actually making a playoff push and it matters, you'll be fine because changes will be made, or you'll find the guy. But if the season ends up being similar to last year, where it doesn't matter after a while, then I don't think there's no urgency.
Right. I mean, dude, I've seen worse lineups. I know we're in a really good division. That's probably going to screw us out of a spot, even if they play great. They'd have to have some luck go their way, ball bounce their way in that division, right? It's just too stacked. But Jovan, I've seen much worse lineups, man. Abrams, Cruz, Wood, Nate Lau. Hopefully he brings the turtleneck back. He might need it when it's chilly in DC. Josh Bell, which don't get me started on that, but at least we have another power bat involved. Luis Garcia, hitting 6th. He's about to break out again this season, hit over 300. Guy's an absolute stud, one of the best second basemen in baseball. Keibert Ruiz, who got hot in the second half, is one of the best catchers in baseball in the second half of the season after the worst first half I've ever seen in my life from a catcher. Stock up. Jose Tena at 3rd, who hit over 300 last year out of nowhere, one of the prospects we got in those trades. Dude was great last year. And Jacob Young in center, Gold Glover. I've seen worse lineups.
Yeah, it's just like you're pretty much guaranteed a ceiling of 4th place in the NL East, which is the problem.
I know it's got to go perfect, and we're kind of screwed. We got to play against those teams more often. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Why do you have a lisp when you say Garcia? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Flatwoods? When I say Garcia, that's his name. Dude's a beast. All right. Nobody answered my question, though. What's the Nats game plan? Why are they not bringing a closer in? And is there anybody even out there that's realistic that they could still snag? What the fuck are they waiting for? We got Kyle Finnegan sitting there still.
The plan is they're in a division with the Phillies, Braves, and Mets. That's the plan. Yep.
So unless they show some serious heart first month or two of the season and show that these young guys are ready, that this young core is legit, they're not going to make any moves for bullpen guys.
Yeah. It's like, why? Why do it?
All right. Well, I mean, I'm asking for one. Just one guy. We got Jose Lopez out there, man.
Daniel Bard.
Daniel Baird might be available. What's he doing these days? Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. We'll leave it at that for Daniel Baird. Okay. Awesome. Let's finish up some CBB. Love sneaking in some baseball talk, man. Brings joy to my heart. I want to talk about San Fran Gonzaga because we mentioned it, right? But I like this over, and I might get to the counter with it. I don't even care if it's down a point. I like points in this game. When San Fran and Gonzaga show up and show out and face off against each other, they're typically very good high-scoring games. It's either a really close game or San Fran, they get so fucking close to finally beat Gonzaga, a team that they've been chasing in this conference for years, or they just get absolutely destroyed and Gonzaga puts up a 90 pace and the over still hits. So I think both those are realistic options in this game. You got two really good scorers on San Francisco who might be able to keep them within this game. But looking at the spreads, I kind of think it might be Gonzaga blowing them out. Guys like Graham Ike and Greg coming off his worst game of the season where he had a goose egg, Shug's bagel. Check out that score on Prize Picks today. I think some of these role players on Gonzaga step up in this one. And I think the Zags win and they win big. I thought this total was high. I thought about taking Gonzaga on the spread, Jovan, but I think I like the over a little bit more.
Sure. I like the over with you, but I think it comes from San Fran. I lean them in the game to keep it close. But it's been a handful of games since really for either team. Like you've seen a team score 80 points, which definitely from the Zag side is an incredible rarity. But even for San Fran playing some of the lower teams in the WCC is not incredibly common. So I'm with you. I think we get points, but I think the Dons make this one interesting.
Okay. You wouldn't be shocked if they cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lose by 10.
All right. Yeah, my heart wants to take that. I'm a sucker for the Dons, man. I don't know what it is, but I love betting on the late night Dons. I thought that spread was pretty fat. It is Gonzaga, right? But San Fran's got a better record than the Zags right now. I know everybody knows Gonzaga's better, but I thought that was
I would think about getting to the counter with San Fran if they didn't just beat St. Mary's.
Yeah, they're playing great.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing good ball, but it's also like it's really tough to get a covered or at least a win in the terms of the St. Mary's game. But like when two teams or when a WCC team plays St. Mary's and the Zags within a week, not exactly a spot you'd want to back them in both of those games. But
no, dude.
Tipping the cap. That's why I'm probably going to get to the
Okay.
counter with you on that over.
All
Assuming
right.
you're getting there too.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite play that's not on the Sharp Report right now. So pretty sure I'm going to lock that puppy in unless we see some crazy steam to the under. I got 2 more games for you, Jovan, that I want to bring up. You got the Gauchos on the road, 2 really solid teams. Late night game, 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. You got the Gauchos who are starting to heat up. They're playing some good ball. They're always good every year. Against the Anteaters tonight. And the Anteaters are coming off their first loss. Actually, they do have 2 losses in their last 5, but this team has been a wagon all season. They're 20-4, one of the best mid-major teams in college basketball, and they're actually they're good. If you watch them play, it's not like they're just beating up on Ball Sack States. This UC Irvine team can hang. I would not be surprised if they did something in March if they can get there. But the Gauchos in this spot are kind of looking at me funny, Jovan. Single digits on the road against the best team in this conference. I know they're coming off a loss, so that'll probably keep me off the Gauchos here on the roads. I don't want to back UC Irvine to lose 2 games in a row after just gassing them up that much. But I do think the Gauchos are probably the right side here.
I agree. And you know what this reminds me a lot of, Krabs? Because, I mean, UCSD was that was the Super Bowl for those 2 teams, and they lost by 20. They got absolutely destroyed.
Yes.
And what was one of the few letdown spots of the year for them because they've been fantastic. So now you got a team that can be a little feisty on the road, and this is the obvious home bounce back spot. Remember what Duke Cal ended at yesterday, Krabs?
Cal snuck back into that puppy.
Yeah. They got pitchforks. I didn't even bet it, but I got pitchforks the second I mentioned that in chat, saying Duke was going to roll by 30 and 50. And hope you didn't lose coin on that. But again, these are spots I haven't been paying, so I might get to the counter with the Gauchos.
Yeah, this is one of those road dog spots that has been extremely profitable this season in college basketball, man. Backing a good squad on the road, getting within 10 points. It's got to be the Gauchos. Probably won't bet it because UC Irvine's coming off that loss, like I said. So I don't want to fade them twice in a row. But I certainly lean the Gauchos, and I probably could be convinced. All right, we got one more game here. I want to bring up – where'd they go? The Sons of Guns. No, I was going to save that for a little sneak bonus pick and ask you that and close it out.
Well, while you're finding it, I got so close. Just incredibly close to just saying screw it and putting Long Beach State on the car.
Dude.
So close. So Hawaii
Long Beach State.
Air, dude.
I mean, probably. Long Beach State is dog shit, Jovan.
I'm aware. I'm incredibly aware.
It's the team that, remember last year, they fired their coach at the end of the season, then they won their conference tourney, and the motherfucker took them to the tourney.
Dude, I was making absolute bank on prize picks off Marcus Sahonis all year. They were literally goated. So, I mean, I loved that team last year. And definitely don't this year. But, I don't know, something in me just really wanted to break my rule and say, let's do it with Long Beach State, which probably means this might be Hawaii's best game of the season.
Yeah, it might be Hawaii blowout. Jesus. Spread is up to 11.5 as well. Okay. Well, you guys know the drill. Jovan's kryptonite. Don't ask me why or how, but this dude cannot bet a Hawaii game to save his fucking life. So go ahead and lock in the Rainbow Warriors.
The crazy part is like by this point, like I haven't bet 4 against them once in conference play because I'm just so hyper aware of it at this point, but it still like holds true about 80% of the time, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, keep fading.
Yeah.
All right, one more game. I did want to bring up the Hawaii game, but I got one more actual one for you. UC Davis at home on the ML against UC Riverside, who's been playing some pretty darn good ball of late. Winners of 4 of their last 5. UC Davis, though, no slouch as well. They've ripped off 4 straight covers in a row, and they have already played 1 game this season against each other only about 2 weeks ago, and it was a nail-biter at UC Riverside, and UC Riverside did pull it out by 2 at home, but I was thinking about maybe grabbing UC Davis here at home this time around to split the series on the season, get a big-time win.
Yeah, this one gives me some bad vibes. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I see the UC Davis flip to a favorite, of course, and after the way that first game went, like, you'd like to think you get their lick back in the second one, but I was a little surprised that this line wasn't UC Davis minus something from the start. I was a little weirded out by that. UC Riverside opened as a favorite. Obviously, they've flipped since then, but that seemed a little eyebrow raising to me. Maybe that's just the thing. I have a little more respect for UC Davis, I guess, than the odds makers do, but that felt a little odd to me, especially the way that UC Davis is playing as of late. They've covered 4 straight, won the last 2 when they've been favorites, and they've done well against some of the better teams in the conference, including Riverside as dogs in those games. So I was very shocked to see that.
Yeah.
But I guess the alarming thing, too, is they're also off of 4 straight road games finally coming home, which is not my favorite spot to back a team either, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they might have some new confidence. They dropped the first 2 games of that road stand and then won the last 2. Coming back home.
Yeah. If they get some new confidence after beating Fullerton and Long Beach, though, I mean.
Yeah, those are layups.
Yeah, you should. But they played, the 2 games before that were the first game against Riverside and UCI. So, they played good in those games, covered the games, hung in them, obviously lost the UC Riverside one, I think at the buzzer or very close to it. And then UCI, that game was close pretty much all the way through. But I don't know, man. That one looks very obviously sharp on paper, I guess, but I have some bad vibes about that. But our guy, Dead Larry Bird, loves taking UC Davis every game, and he's doing it again. So I'll tip the cap.
All right. We got a subby coming in from B Young. That could be Bryce Young. Can't confirm or deny.
Bryce.
W30 month subby. Happy birthday, Jovan. Sure.
Yep.
Dubs. All right. WCBB talk. We got about 10 minutes left. I want to ask you if you got anything in the NBA that you like. If not, we can move. But I want to give you the floor.
Yeah, not too much. It's obviously tricky today because I feel like there's a potential you get some serious late guys ruled out for every single team because not only is it the game before the All-Star break, of course, the last one for all of these teams, but everyone's also teams playing on a back-to-back. So, it's big questions. Somebody could certainly get ruled out for the Thunder, whether it's SGA or whoever. For the Heat Mavs game, there's probably going to be a bunch of late stuff there. Pelicans, Kings, same thing. So it's kind of tough. Outside of the Heat, I'm not really incredibly sold on too much. So we'll see how that plays out. But I don't have really nothing going.
Any thoughts on the Clippers Jazz under? Bamul's asking in chat.
Sure, I guess. I don't really have thoughts.
The Jazz coming in off of 5 straight overs in a row. Clippers 4 out of the last 5. Total in this game is pretty much holding pat at 224 and a half or 225. Not moving too much.
Yeah.
All right. Probably don't love that enough to play it, but I certainly wouldn't be taking that over. All right, Bamul? Yeah. All right, let's talk about 4 Nations real quick. Do you have a lean in the hockey game for tonight? Chat is, they need something from you. They need something from you, or you're going to ruin their day.
I just don't know what I'm expected to say here because we got not that Canada was a vastly different situation, and obviously it didn't cover the puck line or win comfortably or anything, but US is going up against a Finnish team that, defensively, what do they have, dude? It's the reason why everybody's going to look at this game and look. I don't know. It seems like the discrepancy between what you're going to get attacking from the USA and this Finnish defense is, I don't want to say wider than Canada because Canada's top line is just so incredible. And that power play goal to open the game was, the greatest thing I've ever seen. But I just don't know if I see a way that Finland keeps in this game. But I don't think a single person in the world is even thinking about betting Finland in this game, just like Canada yesterday. And we saw how that played out. So I can't do it.
What about the under in this game? Or is that just too nasty and you're actually worried about hockey reasons of the defense there you were talking about?
No, I wouldn't hate that. It's a little different because Canada defensively, a lot of their guys are more attacking. They're more aggressive, in the offensive zone. So not that it leaves them incredibly open for a lot of attacking necessarily, but I think the USA team is going to play a little different. So I definitely think there's a reason why that total really hasn't budged very much from that juicy 5.5.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like that under. I don't know if I'm going to get there. And I'm certainly not fading the USA. Last time I did that, I faded Steph Curry in the Olympics, and he had a record-breaking performance. So Felt like a huge piece of shit after that one.
Was all time. Yeah.
Yep.
It was all time.
So refrain from fading the U.S. of A. If you guys are okay with that. And if you're not, that's kind of weird. All right. W hockey talk. I wish the lines were a little closer, right? It's tough to talk about a game when the U.S. is laying minus 360. So give me the under 5.5, and we'll go about our day. All right?
Sure.
Jovan, it's about that time, brother. You want to get to crafting?
Yep.
Let's do it. Goodsy, run that shit. I want to see that train. Sam Houston State money line.
Get it up and
Getting
moving.
right to it. Getting right to it. Give me the Bearcats. Give me the money line.
Love that.
Has to be done. I think the Heat are a winner.
Sure.
Hofstra. First home loss for William and Mary tonight. Scheduled.
That would be cinema.
Scheduled.
Cinema.
What else? We got the over in Gonzaga. I'm going to scroll through CBB.
I'd be down to go over in Zags. We both like that.
I certainly would not be opposed. I want to do one more scroll here through the CBB board and make sure there's no mid-majors that we talked about that we fell in love with today. I'll throw out a couple that I mentioned. NCA&T plus 12.5 against Elon. I like it, but they have covered their last 2 in a row, so maybe we keep that one to the sides.
Lemoyne.
Lemoyne is certainly an option. I love that play. I just like the other two a little bit better. Okay. But I would have zero qualms putting Lemoyne in here. And typically what I've been doing is I've been putting in my favorite plays, and those ones have been losing for the squad ride votes. And then it's the least favorite plays that are green as moss. So, yeah, if you want to put the Lemoyne Dolphins in here, it's not going to take much.
We might have to, dude.
Okay.
There's not much going on here.
Lemoyne ML. I'm rapidly scrolling through the rest of the CBB board and making sure we're not leaving anything that's potentially a winner that we talked through today. We can leave the Terps to the sides.
There's no way Trent's spamming Highsmith clips in chat. That's unbelievable. I hope Trent didn't see the PP squares, dude. I can't have that. Simply can't have that.
Any late nights? Do you want to go Gonzaga over and Lemoyne money line?
Yeah. GG saw it. Kicked.
All right, 5 plays, 5 winners. You got 3 minutes to lock in your vote. Hurry up, go, go, go. Please, for the love of God, click the right button so we can cash the squad ride tonight, and I'll be happy when we join BTL tomorrow and BTL Friday, the best BTL of the week. Can you guys please do me a favor and click the right button? We got 5 great-looking plays for you, 5 winners. All you got to do is click the right button, your favorite play you heard us talk about today, the best sell job you heard us talk about today. It's that simple, folks. Not the game that's on prime time, not the game that's in your favorite sport. The best sell job that you know in your fucking core is turning green. That is the button you are clicking in the squad ride poll that is up on Twitch right now. If you're watching on YouTube, that's great. That's fine. That's cool. Make your way over to the Twitch page at Bookit Sports. Hurry up. You still got about 2 minutes. Plenty of time to lock in your votes. In the poll, every vote matters. Every vote counts. If you're sitting there listening and you're not voting, why? Why even be here? Vote. Get involved. Be sharp. Take a second to think about your play and click the right fucking button for the love of God. Please, can we get a squad ride W going tonight? We got 5 plays, 5 winners, Jovan. We're going Hofstra plus 1.5. We got the Heat ML, Sam Houston, the Bearcats on the ML. We got the over in San Fran Gonzaga. And how about a little Lemoyne Dolphins love on the ML? 5 plays, 5 winners.
I'm shocked there's so much Heat meat. I was kind of excited to go with Lemoyne or Sam Houston. Here we are.
Heat meat. Heat
meat.
Interesting. Get those votes in. Come on. Click the button of the favorite sell job you heard today. Please. All right. W plays, W stream today. You guys got about 1.5 minutes left to lock in your votes. All right. Krabs not having the Sam Houston jersey fucked everything up. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. They probably would have bought in if you had the jersey. Unfortunately, that was unavailable today.
Man. I am all good with auto tailing Jovan on the big day. You kidding me? Yeah, easy puck. I got no qualms with that. Guys, 5 plays, 5 winners. Get those votes in right now. The Heat are running away with it. Looks like the chat wants to get one more NBA squad ride in there before the break. I don't blame them. Please, guys, click the button of the best play you heard today. 5 plays, 5 winners. Okay, you got about 30 seconds left to get involved. All right, we appreciate all you guys joining today. W Stream.
Let's go.
Can we sing happy birthday to Jovan before we go? We got Rizzy Fears in chat. Fear Aiken, are you around? Fear Aiken, I will Venmo you right now to come up and sing happy birthday.
Dude.
Please. Are you here? Are you here? Show yourself. Show yourself. Flatwood's coming in with 1,000 bits. Let's fucking go, Flatwoods.
Wow.
And a baby.
My goat.
Absolutely donating. Absolute goat. Let's fucking go, dude. 1,000 bits. I don't even know what that equates to.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I need a chili conversion nugget.
Sure. Let's fucking go. All right, chat. Looks like it's going to be the Heat on the money line on Jovan's big day. Love to see it. All right, Jovan, I'll meet you at the cash counter after the Heat come through on your big day.
Let's go.
All right. W stream today, folks. Make sure you guys join tomorrow. BTL Friday, the best BTL of the week. And stick around for the Surge stream. Okay, we got Trent coming on here right now after this. Same network, same channel. Don't move. Stick around, stay here, and pitch Trent a winner. Lord knows he needs it. All right? We'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.